What's going on, everybody? Eric Bourassa here, and I want to share with you today 7 ways to get across all 6 strings on the electric guitar very quickly. So here's the deal. A lot of times people will tell you, here's the way you do it. This is how it has to be done. Or you feel like you have to do every single kind of way, and you don't. You can sort of pick and choose what works for you. So I want to give you a variety of options so you can decide what is the most efficient way for you to get across all 6 strings and get from here to here very quickly. All right, so first things first, we are tuned down a half step for this one. I am. You don't have to be. I just happen to be. I'm using 10s, so I'm tuned down a half step. And we're going to use 2 different C major scale patterns for this. So we have our standard 3-note per string, box 1. And then we have more of an evenly spread shape that moves hexagonically, sort of. Okay, and you can use 1-2-4 or 1-3-4 for your fingers. And then we're going to also sometimes add this bonus note. That's where most of all of our notes are going to come from for today. All right, here we go. So our first example goes like this. All right, so what's happening is this is actually the newest one that I have learned how to do. And it's the one I'm probably least efficient with, but it's the one I'm most excited about. So I had a lesson with Greg Howe the other day, and we were talking about the idea of always doing even notes going across the strings. So I hate the idea of picking 3 notes per string. I hate the idea of picking odd note groupings when changing strings. So doing like 3, you either have to do economy picking or, so going down, up, down, down, up, down, or you have to change the direction of string with each string change, down, up, down, up, down, up. So if we always do even note groupings, then that eliminates the problem. So here we go 1, 2, and then the next string 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going C, D, E, F, G, slide to A. However, I'm also not very good at doing that. So I thought, what if I kind of mixed legato and picking here and made my life a little easier? So I started trying to do hammer on the 2 group and then picking on the 4. And that felt really good to me. So you want to practice that as a group of 6, but then also practice changing to the next string. So we got down, hammer, down, up, down, up, down. And then it just repeats on the next string. And then on the next string. So always starting from C. C, D, E, F, G, A. C, D, E, F, G, A. C, D, E, F, G, A. Right? Always on a different octave. So you'll want to visualize those octaves ahead of time. Make sure you know where they are. And then after that, just practice. Kind of like that. So I'm still working on it. It's still a work in progress, but yeah, there you have it. Okay, so here is example 2. This one's probably the easiest for me because I've been studying Satriani's style for like over 20 years. And so this is just us sending a C major scale legato. So I'm just going C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. If you don't know this, this is like standard box 1, 3-note per string, C major scale. We're going to be using this several times, so you'll want to commit this to memory. So we have 8, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, 7, 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 10, 12, 13, 10, 12, 13. Some people can pick that really fast. I can't, but I can do it with legato pretty quickly. And there you have it. Okay, the other way we can do it kind of in the Satriani style and get even more distance is just with one shape of notes, and it's going to go like this. That's our first box, and then we shift up. And then we shift up. Kind of like that. That's the idea there. So we got... Okay, so we're going to go ascend, ascend, and then back. This is a very common thing Joe Satriani does. And then we're going to shift up. So we go up 2 strings, back on that string, shift up 3 strings, back on that one, shift up, and ascend 3 strings, back, and shift one last time. I love ascending the strings that way. All right, so this next one's going to be kind of in the style of Greg Howe. This is just ascending this is just ascending the C major scale with tapping. So what's going to happen is your index finger will hammer on from nowhere, and then you'll hammer on to the next note, and then tap the highest note. Very efficient. If you're going to be doing the tapping, you may consider getting a fret wrap to help dampen the strings. It just gives you an extra layer of muting so that there's no strings ringing. Okay, so then kind of adding on to that is our next example inspired by Dave Martone. All right, so Dave Martone might do something like this. He goes low, high, low, mid, high, mid. Okay, so hammer on from nowhere with your fretting hand, tap, flick off, hammer on that middle note with your fretting hand, tap, flick off. That's the pattern, and you just do it across all 6 strings. And we're just in that C major, box 1 again. Like that. This next example is in the style of Greg Howe and also ascends tapping on the strings, but we get a little more mileage out of it. All right, so this one uses our other C major ascending box, so you can be thinking... That kind of thing, right? So we're gonna go ascend, and then back, just like we did with the Satriani legato. Up, 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 back. And then we're going to shift and slide and hammer. Slide, hammer, tap. And then we do the same thing on the next set. Now, this is an 11-note grouping, so when I play it with a metronome or with a drum beat, I just sort of cram all 11 notes in and make sure the timing fits. So I'm slowing down or speeding up based on what I need to do in the timing. I don't honestly know exactly how I'm subdividing those beats, but it's an 11-note grouping. All right, and finally, we have a 6+2 ascending pattern. This is inspired also, like the first example, from my most recent lesson with Greg Howe. I thought instead of doing 2 notes on one string and then 4 on the next, I was like, what if we did another even note group of picking, but it was on the first string, then we do 2 legato notes on the next string. So we're kind of flipping the first example, but I'm doing a 6+2 rather than a 2+4, okay? So that's gonna look like this. And then I'm gonna hammer on to the next string. And then we'll just go to the next box. Yeah. Or we can do here in that group. Yes, kind of like that. So still working on that one as well, but I'm having a lot of fun with that. So that gives you 7 different ways to ascend quickly across your strings using the C major scale. All right, guys, if you dig this, like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Check out the links in the description below. Check out ericbourassa.com, and I will see you in the next times.